Hello, everyone. My name is Jennifer Phoenix, and I am here today with Bob Proctor, chairman of the Life Success Company's, best-selling author of the book You Were Born Rich, and now highly acclaimed teacher from The Secret. Welcome, Bob.
Pleasure to be here.
Well, it's great to have you here.
Thank you, Jennifer.
Bob, there has been a lot of excitement about The Secret, and it has clearly stirred the consciousness of humanity. What would you say is the fundamental message of The Secret?
Well, the basic message is that we attract everything that comes into our life. People, things, ideas, everything. We're literally magnetized to whatever comes into our life. And we also have the ability to alter what's coming into our life by learning how to work with the law of attraction. We've got to gain an understanding of the basic laws of the universe because we're subject to them, and if we don't understand them, odds are pretty good we're going to be using them the wrong way, which most people do. Most people are attracting what they don't want, not what they do want. And that's really the basic message.
Now, Bob, could you, people are speaking about the law of attraction, and they use the phrase constantly. It seems like it's part of our common language nowadays. Could you give us an example from your own experiences of how the law of attraction has served you or how you have used it to see wonderful results?
Well, when I started to understand this, I took a look at my own life and I realized that until I was 26, I was not a happy guy. I couldn't earn any money. I was in debt. I wasn't very happy. And I started to realize that I was attracting everything, all the things I didn't like. And until I took responsibility for what was coming into my life, I wasn't going to change it. And when I started to understand that I was truly responsible for everything that happened, I wasn't able to change it. And as I started to understand these laws and started to bring my mind in harmony with them, everything started to happen. Like my income went from $4,000 to $175,000 a year in a year. Now, I had no formal education. I had 2 months high school. I had no business experience, and I even had a bad attitude when I started. So how did this happen? Then I went over $1 million a year. And it was such a dramatic shift. Everything that was happening wasn't supposed to happen, that I had to know why, and I started to study. It took me 9 years to gain an understanding of how this happened. And I was pulling all kinds of pieces together, but it was approximately 9 years after I started to study that someone led me to the laws. And I started to understand the laws. And the law of attraction is based on the law of vibration. Like your body is a mass of molecules in a high speed of vibration. Your brain is an electronic switching station. Your brain won't think, but you think with your brain. And when you think, you activate brain cells, and that sets up a vibration in the body. Now, the vibration you're in is going to dictate what you attract. And you see, most people say, well, I don't really get this. Well, if they don't get it, odds are pretty good they're going to use it the wrong way, and it's time they do get it. Because as I started to understand this, my whole life changed. Like, I went from sitting in a fire hall in a suburb of Toronto to owning and operating a group of companies that operate all over the world, doing millions of dollars a year in volume. Every now and then I look at it and I laugh because it's been so simple, and yet when I was sitting in the fire hall, it would have been sheer fantasy. And it's all happened because I've gained an understanding of myself, my mind, the nature of my being. I'm a creative, spiritual being, the same as you and everybody else. And I've learned to work in harmony with the laws. So it's changed my whole life. And then in turn, through teaching this, I've helped millions of other people change.
Well, that is very amazing. Now, you speak about being a creative being. In your best-selling book, You Were Born Rich, you talk about the creative process. Can you explain a little bit more about that, how simplicity and working with the law is part of the creative process?
I'll give you an excellent idea. When I wrote this book, I wrote it to just share with people what's in it. I took everything I had learned and I put it down in an organized manner so it's like a map. And it teaches people that they are born rich. Everybody's born rich. Most people are just a little short of money. Okay? So what I did, I explained all the creative faculties we've got, how to begin using them to bring this richness to the surface and improve the quality of your life. Okay? Now that's phase one. Phase two, about 20 years ago, I met a man whom I'm in partners with today, and he said, Bob, you've got to use your book in a different manner. Now today, we own a company together with a group of people called Life Success Publishing, and we teach people all over the world not to use a book just as a book. It'll serve a purpose, it educates people, but he said use it as a marketing tool. And now I use this as a marketing tool. I give thousands of these away. Anybody wants to go on our site, go to bobproctor.com, and they can download this for nothing. Now we also sell them. But you see, a book people don't throw away. Brochures they do. So in using the creative process, I've not only been able to write a book that has become a bestseller. In fact, it was number 6 in Japan just a couple of weeks ago. It was translated into Japanese. So it's not only circling the globe, sharing with people what I've learned, now it's also being used by our company, our group of companies, as a marketing tool. Because it explains what we do, and it explains how to get a hold of us. And we help thousands of people do the same thing. So you see, that's the creative process working.
Yes, it is.
Jerry Robert is an absolute genius, and now he's my business partner, and so we help people do that with the book.
So, Bob, tell us now, what are the benefits of giving a book away for free? So you say you sell them, but you also give an abundance of them away for free. How does that serve
I'll give you a
people?
good example. I was speaking in Aspen here just recently, and it was an outside meeting, and it was quite extraordinary. I had never done this before. We had 2,500 people on the side of a mountain. I gave them all a book. And I was flying from Aspen to Salt Lake City with one of the men that was sitting on the side of the mountain. I hadn't met him before, Mark Roberson. And he said, you know, I'm not only impressed that you gave me your book, you didn't sell it to me, but you gave it to everybody. And so I said, oh, that's a good point, Mark. Now I said, do you think you'll throw it away? I mean, you've got it there in front of you. And he said, no, I'm not going to throw it away. I said, if you look in the back of it, Mark, everything we sell is advertised in the back of the book. Now, I said, if I'd given you a brochure of all of the programs that we sell, you might not even have it. It would be stuffed in with a whole bunch of other stuff, and you'd lose it. But you don't throw the book away. So I've got 2,500 people now that are not only enjoying the book, telling everybody, this guy gave everybody a book. That left a favorable impression. And you see, givers gain. What you put out comes back. And you don't do it to get back. You do it because you fall in love with the idea of giving. And that's the law.